Dude, I haven't even... Look, I got a hat on for that reason.
Hey, you know, I'm sure everyone's going to be fine with it. Lighting looks okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is the rare overcast day in Florida. Oh.
It is.
It's like the one of like, out of 365 days, it's like the one out of 65 that's like, meh, it's winter in Florida. Did you get the rain I got yesterday?
Oh, yes.
I'm sure Shadowfax is incredibly clean right now.
Very, very much cleaner. Yeah, I moved her this morning back into shelter.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You've been up early.
Got up early. Yeah.
I
had a shit day yesterday, so it was good.
Did I forget, did your team win or lose?
Or team won. Team won in a very, very close one.
Who'd they play yesterday?
Won on the last play of the game with an interception.
Really?
Very, very rough for Chicago fans. Yeah.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
It happens. It happens a lot though with Chicago. So that's
I guess if you're a Bears fan, your life is not easy.
Dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, so I really wanted to ask you, 1,000 songs, that milestone. Yeah. It's hard to like claw back to that because I know that was a long time ago for you.
That was a
real long time ago for you. But you were in Brooklyn, correct?
Lucky for you, I looked this up.
Did you really?
I did.
Did you get help from GPT?
Say again?
Did you get help from ChatGPT?
No.
Or just by yourself?
I went to my database and sorted chronologically and then found out what was about 1,000 in.
Ooh, do we have a guess as to what actual track it was?
Yeah, I have a guess. Line 1000. Because
that would be exciting.
It's right around Go-Kart.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Go-Kart and Hitman and Local Forecast were all right, like in that week.
Well, I definitely like the mid-range lo-fi version of Local Forecast, like you're on an elevator, you know?
Yeah,
they're both great, but that one seems to hit for me a little more direct.
It does the thing. Makes you feel like you're listening to worse speakers than you currently have, which is what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. But that first batch, was there a specific project? I know you used to do a lot more commission-based things or project-based work in addition to releasing all the stuff openly, royalty-free to everybody else. Was there specific genres that you were focused on, or did it just kind of come? You know what I mean? Did it just come naturally? Like, I want to focus on bit tunes or, chip tunes or this or that.
Yeah, I think I was doing a lot of scoring cartoon shorts at the time, it looks like. It's really interesting, like, scrolling back through all the things. Like, oh, that's the time when I was super interested in waltzes. Oh, that's the time when I was, like, doing, like, retro 8-bit video game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's pretty interesting to look back and go, I remember that time. I remember that time.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's even myself, with this 4+ year heavy production schedule that I've had. I go back and look at 3 or 4 albums and I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Like, but what was I into at the time, Like, holy shit, like why was I so focused on that genre for so long? Like, I even look back to this summer and, with the volume I produced this year, like 275 tracks or something ridiculous. There was one point where I'm like, all right, I got to get some volume into the whole thing. And around June, I released this horror album called Heretic, and it was like 25 tracks, like all at once, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, did you find yourself feverishly in various genres being like, this is really what's happening right now? I'm going to do like 50 comedy tunes and just boom, boom, boom. Or was there any real logic?
Doesn't look like it.
No?
Does not look like it. Normally I'll just get like a bunch of things together and like when I have several that were themed, it's like put them together and go. Everything else is just one-offs, two-offs, and then occasionally I will get like the bug to do a concept album.
Hmm.
And then, okay, there's 6, 7 right there, and then off to something else again.
What's really funny is that
don't have
you just created a reference, very contemporary reference, accidentally.
What happened?
You just said 6. There's like 6, 7 there, and that's a huge millennial
Well, yeah.
Gen Z thing right now. It was completely accidental too.
Was it?
Yeah, probably not. If you know Kevin, probably not.
I know I actually was.
What have been your favorite genres, Kevin? I know there's things you avoid. You avoid horror. Like that.
I do avoid horror.
That brings you to a scary place.
Makes me feel very bad, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
The things that... What are we talking about? Things that I like writing, or things that are...
Yeah, the things that you gravitate towards.
My God, I'm getting... It looks like I'm getting torn apart at all sides. It's like, yeah, I really like the sort of like super tight synthetic sounds of like pure tones and stuff like that. But I also like super grungy, out of tune guitar things. How do we do it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, let's talk about that, because I've heard batches of your super grungy, out of tune guitar stuff, and like, what did you use for VSTs? And for anybody out there that doesn't understand what that's just software instruments. But like, what did you use, and how did you play and articulate those things?
Those Gosh. I think I was using something like orange tree samples at the time to do a lot of the guitar stuff, and then it's like you track it, like change, duplicate it over, detune the second one so that like one string is out of tune, and then you can stick that back together. Ride a little bit on the pitch wheel to keep things from being too perfect.
Right.
Why are we talking about this?
Just because there's technicality behind doing it all in a DAW, right? Like, if you're playing like you turn around and start playing that bass, well, it's the traditional way of playing a bass. But
yeah, I can play that very poorly.
Yeah,
like right now.
But you and I both know a lot of the magic of writing music the way that you and I do is understanding how to emulate the sound of the instrument by using a keyboard and the controllers, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a way, like, you're not going to play a chord progression with a saxophone, typically, right? It's not going to sound like a saxophone would normally sound.
Well, if you're just like plunking out chords, like chopsticks on a saxophone, it's not a saxophone.
No. Now it sounds like a synthesizer with a saxophone-ish type patch, right?
Right.
So there's a way to articulate the actual tracks, and that's something I learned super early, because I had not only a theory teacher, but I also had a technical teacher that helped me understand how to actually get the sound right out of a keyboard, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And this gentleman by the name of Bruce McPherson back in Connecticut, he kind of said, like, and he called me out on that. I would play like a chord when it's like a trumpet patch or something like that. And of course, there could be like a trumpet section, but it didn't sound like a trumpet the way I was playing it. And he's like, time out. Let me show you how to articulate that. And that stayed with me forever, because I'm like, you kind of have to become the instrument, and there's a different way to do it with this thing,
Yeah. Yeah, and you're like hitting key switches to get different articulations, and you're working with the mod wheel to get the different expressions, and and they're all different. And the horrible thing about it is, like, it's different software to software. You learn how to do it on one, you can make your trumpet sound great, and then you move over to another one, and the controls are just completely different. They either don't have mod wheel, or they don't have key switches, or both, or...
Right.
It's so you can't just learn how to play that. You have to learn how to play that trumpet in your system, which is it's a challenge. Some would call it a pain and don't want to deal with it, but then you're not going to get a good sounding trumpet, I guess.
Right. Well, that engenders a question. You've been writing for a long time, better part of a quarter century, and you've seen a lot of different technology come and go. How do you feel about the current state of VSTs? Like as you were growing in your catalog, I'm sure earlier on, didn't you use almost exclusively some of the stuff right out of Logic with some of your earlier work?
The my early stuff I used some people called Garriton.
Oh, I'm not even familiar with that. What's that?
I don't know if they're still around, but it was like 1996, and I was listening to on a what is it, mini disc or whatever, the Sony
God, that's also
things.
defunct, right?
I was sitting at an airport in Minneapolis and listening to Mozart's Clarinet Concerto, as done with just this software, with just the Garriton software, and I cried. It was that good. I mean, I play clarinet, not well, but enough to know how to do the things that the clarinet does. Whoever programmed that, I couldn't pick out anything wrong. And also it didn't hurt that it was, the Mozart Clarinet Concerto thing, which is really nice. It's a really good piece of music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is it. We're done. We can do this now. It made me cry. Virtual instruments. Yes, I no longer have to worry about where I'm going to get my next bass clarinet player.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, when I come across one that can create the articulations I'm looking for, I have a very similar response, because it's like I hear it in my head and I want it to come through, and sometimes it just wasn't happening. And it wasn't until I discovered Native Instruments, and even more importantly, Heaviosity, with some of their string articulating instruments like action strings, to actually having the ability to play out a patch in a VST in such a way that you can do like those really big, heavy orchestral, like the chugging strings. And not always the easiest thing to emulate with different VSTs, but this one,
very hard, right?
A lot of fun.
They absolutely have some of the best feeling interfaces out there. Like when you get on the keyboard and you play Heaviosities, it invites you in. They're very good at that.
Yeah,
love it.
That evolution has been fun to see and fun to play with for me, because there's like several years ago, I forget I think it's another defunct company that I was using that had decent orchestral instrumentation, but still you couldn't get sequence-based string progressions like that with it. You had to try to time it yourself, and my God, between the legato and pizzicato change-ups that you can create with the current instrumentation, like cinesamples. I mean, based on how many of the keys you play at once and how aggressively you are with them, or how quick the note off is, it knows. It's like you're hitting that note really quickly. You want like a staccato or pizzicato effect with that. Whereas you hit it moderately and hold it, you want that legato or sustained. And you don't have to have 3 or 4 patches emulating that same feeling. You can literally just jump into that one patch and, oh yes, it does the thing. It does the thing. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Because you used to have like 6 violin ones of every different thing. You record it and then you like chop it and move. Okay, that note was this, that note was that. Oh, it took a long time, but it got it done. And now you can just play it in, and it's really, really quite beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason they're one of the most expensive libraries on the market, and that's it. You know what I mean? You don't have to keep switching your brain. You can just do the thing and make it work, So I'm not having like an existential crisis by any means at this stage, but it is a milestone, right? You hit 1,000 and it's like, all right, what's next? What's the next 1,000 to work on? What am I going to drive into next? And I mean, following in the footsteps in the path of like a lifelong royalty-free / Creative Commons composition person, I actually, it's just another number in my heart, because as much as you want to celebrate something, I also know that I've got a lot more to say. So once once you moved beyond that, I mean, obviously you went back in time, took a look at some of the other stuff that you did. What was around 1,000, which, local forecast is great. I absolutely love that piece. How did your music change after 1,000? Like, what did you find in yourself that you started going towards next? Or was it a lot of a similar message?
So Monkey Spinning Monkeys was after 1,000. That's about 1,050 in.
Okay.
Music for Manatees, it's another big one, was right after that. What was I going for? I'm looking at these, I'm like, I got weird. I definitely got weird. And then I did a lot of just simple stuff and more comedy stuff, mystery stuff, blues, jazzy things. Jellyfish in Space, I don't know what that is, but it's probably not great.
When did you do Polka one? Was that after 1,000 or was that earlier
Polkas, on? Oh my God. Polkas I did so early on and they're all terrible.
I disagree. I liked your polka stuff.
They've got like this sort of like 1990s twinge to them, and they don't feel like a real polka, which is, also, growing up in Pulaski, Wisconsin, I know a thing or two about some polkas. And
here comes the accent.
Yeah, and like, I honestly should do more polkas, like good ones. Gosh, they're hard.
Yeah. And honestly, if we're being honest here, you're holding yourself to a much higher standard because of where you were brought up.
Yes. The fact that the polkas that I have, like, people use them, they're like, oh, this sounds like a polka. I'm like, oh no.
Don't use me as the bar, please.
You gotta go listen to some real polka people play. Go listen to Aaron Soka. Go listen to, some of those guys, and you'll be like, oh, this is just absolutely joyous. It's not the stodgy, oompa thing that you think of. Those were, like, real polka is damn near punk in its energy. So getting that, I don't know. Maybe this year. Maybe this coming year. It's the year of polka. We'll see.
I might have planted a seed.
Yeah, no, it is annoying that there really isn't much out there in that style that I remember from my youth.
But that's always been a focus of you, right? Is to visit this space and find the need and fill it, right?
Right.
So since the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason I would write something, is because it didn't exist.
Yeah. Or there was poor examples of it, right?
Yeah, there were poor examples of it. I started doing all this by just doing live improvisation, like weekly with a comedy improv group. And so you get really good at just making stuff up very quickly. And it's like, okay, this vaguely sounds like a polka. Let's go. Okay, this is going to be, okay, we got somebody requested funk, somebody requested polka. Oh, you're going to do a funk polka. I'm like, yes, I am. I have 3 seconds to push buttons and go. So yeah, find out, go online, watch movies, find what annoys you and fix it. I've been noticing the, I kind of want more basic fantasy medieval music, because a lot of the games that I'm playing, I'm like, that's okay, but we could be doing better these days.
Yeah. I find that there's typically 2 buckets for that music. In games, in movies, there's the music that's like, meh, it does the work. It's okay.
Sets the scene.
And then there's versions of it that are like, man, I went somewhere. I lost myself for 3 minutes. And my God, where am I? Like, I have to, like, kind of recover from it. Not in a negative sense, but in just that I was immersed. Great example of that is probably the exploration theme in Oblivion, in the Elder Scrolls game. That one, when you're crossing the countryside and going to various places, it has this evolution in 3 to 4 minutes that I've never seen emulated anywhere else since. I forget who the composer was for that game, but I really should study him a little bit, because it is phenomenal. It's even better than a lot of the stuff in Skyrim, which is, it's contemporary and still has some great scoring in it as well, but nothing is compared to that for me, not in the Elder Scrolls anyway. It's just a lot of fun, a real lot of fun. But those are journeys, right? I mean, you want to you want to put something in like a D&D campaign or
Yeah.
into a fantasy movie or whatever. You're trying to immerse somebody into a world that first doesn't exist at all outside of your fantasy and your imagination. And that's a really wild place to take somebody with music, you know?
I mean, it works. Yay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
You do get... Sorry, I was distracted by the cat for a little bit.
My cat absolutely gets involved with every podcast. Everybody. Earlier, he was screaming at me on the left. I was like, get out of here, dude. What are you doing?
Nice. Nice.
Kimby has to get involved all the time.
Yeah.
So was it always your mission to build this body, like from the beginning, to build this body of work? Or did you first, I mean, because I know in the beginning you were doing you were in a cover band, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you were doing a bunch of stuff.
Doing
in the
improv.
90s.
Yep.
And then you discovered that in the internet, in the early era of YouTube and various platforms, you're just like
Pre-YouTube, yeah. Macromedia
like,
Flash days.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the virus inflicting software or code base that eventually fell into the annals of the internet, right? But was it when you started doing that, did it end up being the only focus, or was it a combination of doing that and commission-based work at the same time that kind of flowed into ultimately you being like, just want to provide the thing. I'm no longer trying to please a client. I just want to make the thing.
Yeah, well, like my first, clients were just friends of mine who needed stuff. And then, okay, here's your thing, and it's like, I need a music for a children's musical. I'm like, okay, here's your thing. And now I've got all this pile of music that I've written for people, and the internet comes along, and I can actually just put it up there. You can just share it.
Yeah.
So I think I did a lot of, I don't know, the first year was probably just a lot of backlog stuff, or I don't even remember how that all happened. It's a long time ago. But yeah, what is my mission? I just want to make my life better.
Mm-hmm.
And if I watch a video that has really bad music on it, I'm like, let's see if we can fix that, because I enjoy this castle video. I want better music here. So write music for the castle video and email them, and then the next time the video comes out, it's got better music in it. Yay.
What's the funny
thing? But I really only pick the terrible music because it's easy bar to, you don't have to like beat yourself up for days. It's like, this mix is fine. It is way better than that thing, and that's all we care about. Just need a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in that way, the improvement is real. It's evident, and it is better, even if it's only marginally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you still made it better.
Right.
I read a book last year, The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, the producer that brought hip hop to the scene in the 80s, did a bunch of metal and all sorts of stuff. Right. And he talks about, creating for yourself first and doing, like, the compromise is that if the second you start doing it for others and contriving your creative process is when you lose the essence of what you're creating. Like, you need to like it yourself first. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I was so drawn to your model, Kevin, is that I had done projects specifically for people in the past, and oftentimes they're non-musician or non-artist, and they want to inject their non-artist, non-musician demands on your artistry. And it's like, no, you hired me for a reason. You want me to interpret what you're doing. And you can either like it or don't like it, but if it's not what I'm feeling about your project, it's not going to be authentic to me, and it's going to come across as just milk toasty. And just, you ever experienced that doing client-based work? I mean, I call it client-based, but you know what I mean. Like,
oh yeah, no, I mean, you end up doing it their way because there's deadlines, and we got to move projects. And is it my favorite music ever? No. Did they get what they want? Absolutely. Great.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I always struggled with that. I really did. And I still do.
I can absolutely follow your terrible directions and get something pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the classic. I want it to sound something like this. And then you give them 3 examples. And then the end result is, no, I just want you to rip that song off because I don't want to pay for.
Yeah.
And I have to turn around and be like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, we have lobby Congress to get this whole copyright thing taken care of. Then no problem. Absolutely no problem. We can do that all day long, but you're going to need to lobby Congress.
Yeah. It's always bothered me because I'm at this stage in 2025. Most people's music is distributed in a manner that you can grab it on social media and you can use it as long as you use the in media editors. You can add the tracks because their publishers and distributors typically provide it as something you can use.
Right.
So just add it and add it to your content. Go ahead and, like, if that's the song you want, use it. Don't ask me to rip off that artist because, first of all, I'm going to have my own interpretation of it. And if that's what you liked, that's the pro and con of using temp music. You drop something in,
right,
and you go through the editing process, and eventually that becomes the sonic narrative that you're used to, and it's hard to pull it away, right? I mean, you experienced that with Hugo, and somebody made a big mistake towards the end of it.
It's all right.
Just
temp music is temp. You need temp music to get something down. And so I'd recommend just when you're editing with temp music, get 3 different temp tracks and switch between them. But nobody does that because it's a pain in the ass and it just feels bad to keep doing that. But yeah, you're going to get attached to your temp music. What music does. Sorry about it.
Tom Seymour has admitted that to me. He's like, I'll put temp music in here and like I'm scoring something for him. And he's like, I kind of like this here now. And I'm like, me scoring it doesn't mean every piece has to be mine. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like that's typical of any movie, right? Just because there's a composer on the movie doesn't mean that there's other pop music that's pulled into the mix, other composers that are pulled into the mix. They just happen to be the predominant contributor with music.
Right.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I think some people don't understand that concept because they're like, hey, Trent Reznor composed X movie, but I only heard like 5 tracks of his. Well, everybody else had single or double digit tracks in there, and he was the predominant one. So, and he was directly hired to do the project. So it's interesting. It's interesting how that happens.
Sitting in his little closet with a candle and staff paper and a pen and writing out all the parts. I'm sure that's.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. People think that happens. That's like, oh, how do you write? Oh, yeah, we got to get. It's what you see in cartoons. It's what happened 100 years ago. But
yeah. You telling me that some of the greats like Bach, Beethoven, Mozart had teams where they would just kind of hum a tune and the articulation for the various parts, and somebody's feverishly scribbling.
Yeah. That's Bach. Okay, we're talking about Beethoven.
Yeah.
Where he'd write it down and then they'd fix it and arrange it and stuff like that. So
I think there's a lot of people that don't realize that what survived is the name attached to those pieces and not the collaborative work that went into making them, which is often lost to the history, right? And it's just the track associated with the artist, and that's it. Not all the underlying team and effort associated with building
publisher would buy the piece, they'd get their own arrangers on it, they'd figure out how to market it, how to title it. And the music industry has changed. And I don't know, are we ever going to not have a music industry? Will there always be an industry? Or will it just eventually just be music? Who knows? No, it's probably always going to be an industry.
Artisans need to earn a keep, right? I mean,
I guess,
a fair shake, a fair income for producing art and sharing it with the world. I think that's reasonable. Is it somewhat broken? Sure. I mean, when you corporatize anything, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the industrial side of it, because we're always going to have music that's been around for 100,000 years, give or take in its rough current form.
Yeah. It's a strange evolution. Strange. You have any advice for me going into the next 1,000 tracks? Anything you would do for encouragement?
What are you interested? What are you doing? Are you playing some fantasy? Are you annoyed? What are you annoyed about? This is like limitless amounts of energy you can put into things that you're annoyed about. So that's how you keep. And if you're annoyed, chances are somebody else is too. That's the other the thing. It's like, this would be, maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's just maybe it's just like too busy. This music that you're listening to. It's like, I just like that, but it's just too busy, or it's too calm, or whatever irritates you when you listen to things out in the world. Yeah, don't emulate your idols. Make fun of your enemies? I don't even know. That doesn't make sense, but something of that sort. Yeah, find out what you don't like and just fix it.
To that end, about extra notes and stuff, that advice has always sat with me that you gave me years ago.
Yeah.
And that was simply like, I'll write a piece, put it down for a little bit, come back to it, and then ask myself, what notes don't I need?
Right?
Like,
yeah.
Because
like overload the piece when you're writing. Put all your ideas in there. Try to make them fit.
Yeah. And when they don't, or they take away from the work that's trying to happen,
even if they do,
right?
Pull them out, right?
And I've been finding myself doing that too. I started in the last 200 to 1,000 doing alternative versions because my mind couldn't wrap itself around which one I thought was right. And then that came back to another piece of advice you've given me, which is you don't get to choose what's good.
Publish them both.
Just put it out there. See which one resonates with your audience.
Yeah.
Right. And that's always a fun process because, my God, it's rarely ever what you think is going to make the thing. You do something technically amazing and you're just like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. And you should be in your creative process, but it doesn't always translate to what people want to use or what people are excited about. And that's okay. That's okay. Because both of those sides of the equation, they have value. So yeah. So I am very excited about the next 1,000, Kevin, and beyond.
All right.
I'm not sure how many more. I mean, I plan on writing this stuff till I die, unless I get sick of it and don't want to do it anymore. But I can't imagine. I've had this in my heart since I was old enough to think about it. I used to walk around and I would hear a score in my head. I was 5 or 6. This is before I even decided to pick up an instrument, So I knew I had music in my blood a long time ago. And I imagine I'll have it until I die and beyond if there's something there. So I'm very excited about that. I've appreciated very much your advice and mentorship over the years. And I hope I am...
It seems to have worked. Hurrah!
Yeah, hurrah! And I hope in your mind's eye that it's true to the cause. It's absolutely what my endeavor is. Yeah. And we'll see what the next 1,000 brings, man. But I can't thank you enough.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
if I hadn't said it before, I'll do that explicitly. And yeah, we'll catch up again soon, and see what happens after you take your 3-day vacation or whatever you've allotted yourself after this feat.
Kevin knows me way too well, and it just he knows that my work ethic is ridiculous, and I take little short breaks. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a month off. Never do. I
can't make it. Can't do it.
3-4 days go, and I'm like, damn it, I got these ideas I gotta do something with, or I'm really ambitious. I gotta just feverish energy. And for a middle-aged dude, I hope I have that energy for 30 plus years beyond this. My God, that's a life to live, I think. So.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks again, Kevin.
You bet.
Appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you all real soon.